So, welcome to today's class. My name is Natalie, and I'm an instructor of Neurographica. Today's class is going to be an introduction to Neurographica. We are going to draw our wish and see how it can develop and come true. And I'm happy to see everybody, and I want to ask you if you have papers and markers and pencils ready. Great. Let's take some time to come up with a couple of wishes. I'm gonna be, if you don't have wishes, then you just can follow me, or you may want to think of whatever you want, a different wish. And I'm gonna switch the camera for you to see my desk and what I'm gonna be drawing, and just repeat, ask questions again. It is gonna be beneficial to everybody if you ask questions. So this is a previous class we did. Okay, so today let's start with in the middle, in the center of your paper, just draw a little circle that will represent yourself. This is you, and we are not going to make it big right now. This is you at the current moment. You don't have to draw perfect circle. In Neurographica, we like imperfect form, the way they are in nature. And so you don't have to strive for being perfect. And next thing we're gonna draw is a wish for health and beauty. I'm gonna draw 6 wishes around myself. And if you resonate with a wish for health, maybe not everybody will resonate with a wish for beauty, but a nice physical appearance. Let's say healthy body and a pleasant, strong, nice appearance. So this is my wish. It's important for me to have to take care of my body, because otherwise nothing else can be fulfilled. So I'm wishing for a healthy body. Next one, I'm gonna wish about what I do. So this will be a job, or maybe some kind of a business, or your hobby, or what you do in life, because this is a main part of your life, what you do. And next one is for a relationship. I'm going to be wishing for my family, for all the members, because I have kids and a husband. So I'm wishing for nice relationships in my family. If you don't have current relationship, you can wish for a future one. You can wish to meet a partner, or maybe a group of friends, maybe whatever your needs are, just formulate them for yourself. And in Neurographica, we make notes, label things. So this was my health. This was my business. This is my family. And next one is, I want to include travels and activities. I love to travel. I'm from Europe, and I traveled a lot. And I love traveling. Last year I went to Germany and to Hungary and to Bulgaria, and it was so beautiful. I hope to do it again. So this will be travel. If you don't like to travel, maybe you like activities that are outdoors activities. Maybe you like adventures. Maybe you like going to the park, walks. So some activities that are pleasant for you. Think of that. And I also gonna including a wish for development, personal development. For me, this will be education. For you, it can be a class in Neurographica or something that you want to expand to, a class in psychology or a class with Tony Robbins if you want to, if you like him and you want to do a self-development class. And the next wish I'm gonna draw is for a house or an apartment for you, maybe. I want my house, I have a house, we live in a house, but I want this house to be strong and to for us to use it for a long time. And if you're building a house or if you're working on a house, you can wish for completion of your project. Or if you live in an apartment and you want to move somewhere else, you can wish for, plan for moving somewhere else. And so those are the areas that are the most important for me. I'm not including the money here. I'm not including, I don't recommend you to include a wish for money, because they say that money by itself, they are not good wish, not something to look forward, because you want to focus on what you can get with the money. So you may want to get a nice around the world trip with the money, or how do you want to use? So the money is included underneath those wishes. And now we're gonna use Neuroline to connect all these wishes in a circle around us. I'm using a line to connect everything, and I'm gonna round it. Whenever the lines connect, I'm rounding them. And this is a Neurographic step that we went over. There are videos how to round. You just make an arch. I know every one of you are familiar, but there are videos if you need more information how to round. If somebody is watching this and don't know how to round, they can look it up. You create a nexus, a connection between the lines so they look like they're connected. And I'm also gonna connect myself with each of those wishes, and I'm gonna draw out a neural line from myself through the wish and going out. Neural lines are wiggly lines that are not straight, and they're not repeating itself. They're not just wavy, but they're very unique at every turn and at every point. They resemble roots of trees, of plants, and or coastlines or rivers. If you look at the map, you can see rivers. And again, I'm gonna round everywhere I have crossing lines. And I'm gonna, every time I'm rounding at a certain circle, I'm thinking about my wish for this circle. So if I am at the circle for health, I'm thinking, what can I do to be healthier? Do I need to exercise more? Do I need to diet? Do I need to eat healthier? Do I need to take vitamins? Or maybe I just need to laugh more, because laughing is said that it can greatly benefit your health, our health, and cure us even from diseases. So do you have any questions? Are you ready with this step?
I have a question.
Sure.
So we're just doing these 6 subjects because that's what you chose for today, but I can choose any subjects I want on the outside?
Correct. You can.
And can I make the circles in proportion to how strong that wish is?
You may, yes, of course. Just, yes, you can, but don't size them up with a huge difference. Just try to keep them aligned, because we are going to draw more.
Okay.
Further.
Thank you.
Any other questions? I'm going to tell you a little bit about the class that I'm working on. It is a Neurographica level 1 class, basic level user class, certified class. It is going to be an 8-hour training, and it's a prerequisite for the rest, anything else. If you want to become an instructor of Neurographica or work with others with Neurographica, this is a prerequisite. It is going to be in June, and we are planning it to be 2 hours per week for 4 weeks. You will learn about the history of Neurographica, what all the ins and outs are, how is it useful, how to use it properly, the classical way. And at the end, after graduation, you are going to receive a certificate from the Moscow University of Neurographica. And we are going to be learning 4 different algorithms. Algorithms in Neurographica are like protocols. So you have certain algorithms for different things. Those 4 algorithms are used for release, their basic one. Those 4 are the very first algorithms that were created, and they're used to releasing inner blocks, good for working with PTSD, depression, any inner constraints, and anything that is stopping you. I use it when before each class, if I feel nervous about the class. I will use this algorithm to make me calm down. It helps me immediately to calm down and feel more relaxed. I also use it if I have some dramatic event happening in my life. Recently, I used it with my friend who got in a car accident. She's okay. Her car was totaled. And so we did the algorithm of lifting inner constraints, and she felt completely relaxed and calm after that. For more deep, for older blocks that are not recent, you may need to repeat it several times. It's a working process, but it is really helpful and it gives great results. It is good for self-esteem, for relationships, I know friends use it when they're on the phone talking to somebody who from their family that they don't get along very well. And so by just talking on the phone and doing this algorithm, they are not getting into any arguments anymore. Just everything goes smoothly. So to come back to our drawing. So we have our wishes right now, and they're not very big. I am going to grow them. I'm going to think what my health is gonna be a year from now. And I'm gonna draw a circle that is a little bit bigger and a little bit further away. And I'm gonna round it as I do. And I'm gonna think of how I want to take care of my body and my health, my appearance in a year from now. Am I gonna be going back to the way my diet was before, or am I gonna be improving my diet more and more?
Can you lift your hand and your pen a bit so we can see the circle? Yeah, okay, thank you.
So it doesn't have to be perfect. It is, it can be wavy. The important thing is for you to round when it joins. So can you imagine yourself a year from now? Can you see your body growing younger and stronger and healthier? Just imagine, just wish for it and see what steps you need to take to get there. And next one is my business. So I want to continue working and growing as a Neurographic coach and instructor. I love Neurographic. It was very helpful for me. So I want to help more people find it for themselves and use it. So I'm drawing a bigger circle next on the business line next to, so this is my business a year from now. This is how I see it grow. And I think about how helpful it can be for other people. If you feel that it may not be your business, it may be your hobby. So something you do, if you don't have a business or you don't have a job, if you're retired, you still have things that you like to do and you spend time with. So this is something you do. maybe you are just volunteering and helping other people. This can grow also. You can meet people that are doing the same thing and you can work together. Next one is my family, and for somebody else this can be relationship. So what do you see yourself in? What kind of relationship do you see yourself a year from now? I want to have a relationship that will help me grow, that will help not just me grow, but all the parties involved in it grow and get benefits from this relationship, both sides. Or maybe it's not just two people in the relationship, maybe it's the entire family who will grow together, support each other, and they will be happy. And if you don't know exactly how it is going to be, it's okay. It can change. It's not a fixed thing. In next week, you may think of something else that you want. So you can start all over. This drawing, you can start all over and draw it the way you feel it in a month or in 3 months or 6 months. You can start it all over. So next thing, I'm gonna draw my travels a year from now. I'm hoping that we will get to travel a lot more a year from now. And there are so many countries I want to see. I've never been to Egypt. I want to see the pyramids. And I want to go to Europe. I have family in Europe. I have friends in different countries. I want to meet them. I want to spend more time with them. And I want to see more of America. So think about where you want to go. Or maybe you just want to go to the nearest lake and have a boat ride, or the nearest mountain and have a hike. Next one is education. Where do you want to be? What do you want to learn in a year from now? How do you want to grow? Education is very important for people. We are learning all through our lives, and it helps us not to lose our brain function. So Neurographica is very successful in preventing Alzheimer. People who started drawing Neurographica at older age, even if they have already had beginnings of Alzheimer, were able to recover and use their full capacity to their full capacity from Alzheimer. It is helpful to use Neurographica when you learn something else. If you doodle and draw Neurographica while you're listening to a lecture at school, you will retain more of the knowledge, more of the lecture, of the material that you're learning, studying. Of course, other things are also important. I may want to take a class of how to of speech, how to do speeches, how to talk better and present better. This is what I want to do because I want to teach. And the next one is my house. It can be your apartment. It can be the place you live, a mansion, or something else. I've heard that now people are trying to get out of living in cities and go live somewhere far away, further away, in smaller towns or villages, and grow their food and be closer to nature, away from the big cities. So maybe this is in line with your wishes. Maybe that's what you want to do. Think about a year from now, how it may become true and how can you make it happen. All the answers to our questions lie within us. We just need to listen to ourselves and we have all the answers. How are you doing? Are you rounding still? Are you done with the first year of your wishes? We have a multiple of wishes. And again, we want to connect them. So I'm drawing a line that connects, like, it's not a circle, it's a freehand line that goes through all the circles and connects them. And I'm rounding everything that has two lines connecting. So that's a lot of rounding. In Neurographica, we don't stop our work until we have rounded all the corners. This is rule number one. You can stop only after you have rounded everything. And to be able to see if you have corners that are not rounded, you may want to turn the drawing and look at it from a different angle, or snap a picture with your phone and look at the picture. I have found more corners on my drawings after looking at them in a picture. So the class is going to be taught by two teachers, myself and my instructor, one of my instructors who is currently my teacher, mentor. She will be supervising and teaching. In this class, you will get a supervision and feedback of four of your drawings. And you will be given a chance to review other drawings to show that you understand the rules of Neurographica and see if there are any mistakes and how to correct them. We will also have a community on Facebook. There will be a closed Facebook group for this class. And as a bonus, you are going to receive all the future recordings of this class. When we have other classes, beginner classes later on, you will gonna be able to watch the recordings of those following classes if you want to. All the classes will be recorded. So if you cannot attend any of the classes for any reasons, any of the 4 of your own classes, you will get the recording. Next level of your degree would be to receive a certificate, either to go directly to receive certificate for to be an instructor, which is 1-year class, or you can receive a certificate of specialist, and you can use Neurographica to help other people, but not to teach. You will not be able to teach Neurographica as users and give diplomas for users. But you can work with other people to help them use Neurographica for their own purposes. And of course, the highest level is the instructor, where you can teach and you can use Neurographica with other people. And now, are you ready with this year 1 of your wish? Let's move. Are you ready to move to next year? So now we're gonna see how our wish is gonna be 5 years from now. So let's imagine how our health will be 5 years from now. And I have a very big circle for that. I'm gonna round it, and I'm gonna see myself getting younger and more beautiful, and my body getting stronger, and I want to be healthy and strong and happy in my body. We
I have a
need,
question.
yes.
Do you always use 6 circles on the outside, or can you use maybe 3 circles?
You can use as many as you want.
Thank you.
This was just an example. You can use, somebody can, I know somebody uses 9 circles for their wishes. It's a free form. It's not something set in stone. You can be creative with this. And let's see, how about my business? I actually want to grow, and I want to have a school that will include a full development of the student in their body, mind, spirit, with the help not only of Neurographica, but other modalities. Because we are more than just our mind. We have bodies, and we need to take care of them. And we have souls, personal development on all levels. That's my dream. I also want to have a retreat for people to come and stay and rejuvenate themselves. It's important to get away in a retreat. And I wanted this retreat to be for families, not just for single individuals, but for kids as well. Young people, older people, everybody to have their own place there. Family. I want my relationship with my family and all the relationships inside my family to grow beautiful and stronger, to support each other, to be loving, fulfilling, and beneficial for all of us, each one of us. If you still don't have a relationship, you may want to imagine one and think of what you want to have. And your current relationship may change, but the main idea is for you to see what you want to have in a relationship. What are the qualities of your partner or partners that you want to have, that you want to see? Find or develop. Relationships require work as well. It's a process. And the main part is that everybody benefits and everybody feels good and grows more in this relationship. And we round, of course, every line we connect and we round. Next one is travel. So I'm hoping I can travel freely in 5 years. And also I'm hoping to have more vacations. Not just travel, but to be able to stay more in one place. I know people who are nomads, they live for travel. They live a year in one country, then they move to another country. And it looks fascinating to me. I love discovering other cultures. I love learning other languages. I'm not sure that I will be able to do the nomadic life. Don't know if it's for me or not, but I just am open to explore how it will be for me. What will I find in the future? People who travel, they learn more about themselves through the travels. They learn a lot about other cultures, and it helps. It is beneficial not just for them, but for our entire earth. Because when you know your neighbors, they are not your enemies anymore. And I want to live in the world where there is no war, where there are no enemies. So I want to know more about other cultures, other countries, other people. And now I can move to education. And this is my education 5 years from now. I guess I'm not gonna stop here. I'm gonna keep on learning, keep on improving. There's so much things that are interesting to learn. And even in cooking, even in gardening, my parents knew how to garden. I know a little bit, but I've never gardened by myself. Maybe I can learn how to garden. And it will be very helpful. My daughter wants to learn how to garden very much. She's determined to, she already started planting seeds in our backyard. And she always talks about what trees should we plant and what plants should we plant. I guess we will be gardening soon. And next one is our house. I'm gonna draw how I see my house in 5 years. The circle does not represent the size of a house. It represents the comfort and security that our house brings to me and to my entire family. So people don't need bigger houses, but the houses should be strong and people need security of having a house, apartment, home. It's like basic thing. Even if you're a nomad, you need a house. You need a place called home. My friends who are nomads really wish they had some of them who sold their houses to travel. In 5 years, they wish they have a house. They wish they have a place to go home to. So it's important to have one.
Question for you, Nat.
Sure.
So I see that in your circles, in some cases, you've drawn additional lines. What do those represent, and when would we put additional lines? I've got like single lines through each circle.
Mm-hmm.
When would we add those additional?
So as I speak, I feel a need to add lines. Lines represent, each line represents my thought pattern, one of my thoughts. So there, or emotion. You don't have to necessarily make lines, but in Neurographica, there is a rule that the more lines you have, the more quality of the process you get. So right now we're working on repatterning your brain toward making plans and drawing those plans to you, making them possible for you to see them, hence your mind creates your reality. So the more lines you have, the more you work on those roundings, the more your mind will will accept those, and the more neural pathways you will create, and it will be your way of thinking. And so if you really want to work on it more, just one drawing may not be enough. So, but if you repeat it once a month or as much as you want, feel like it, repeat the same drawing over and over. The same concept. You don't have to draw exactly the same, but repeat the concept of thinking and exploring your wishes. You will draw them closer and closer to your reality.
Thank you.
And now that you asked about lines, I'm going to draw some more lines, even more lines. So this, what we drew so far is how I see it. And now I'm going to draw some lines that are outside of this. Oh no, first we're going to connect those 5 years wishes with a line and round it. Everywhere. And how do you feel right now with your wishes? It's okay if you still don't see them as something real, and as well, it's okay if you want to change them. You can change them at any time.
Natalia, last week, when we did the one last week, during the week, I felt like I needed to add more lines. So I went back to the original one and added more lines. And because we're doing so much in a short period of time, with this one, I'll probably go back to it again after we finish. Is that all right?
Yes, this is absolutely all right. I will be doing the same thing with mine because I want to keep the class shorter. I don't want you to sit for hours here, but and also please take care of yourself. If you want to stand up and move a little bit or get a glass of water. Water is highly recommended during this process. Please take care of yourselves and do what you need to do. Lines can be added later. The only rule is when you add a line, round all the corners that it creates. Mm-hmm. Lines can be added a year from now. I have drawings that are over 6 months old that when I look at them, I feel like I want to add a line or a color or a circle somewhere. And it's still okay, it's still a process. So now after I rounded the last circle, connecting circle, I'm gonna draw some lines in between those, coming out of me and going through the end of the paper. And I'm gonna round them as well.
What's the intention of those lines?
These are lines that are in those are in our environment. So those first we drew ourselves and how we relate to the wishes, and the rest are how our wishes are going to be interlocked in our environment. And you can draw a lot more lines. I'm just going to stop at this number. I'm going to round them because we're getting closer to 1 hour. So I don't want to keep you for too long. And we're gonna introduce some colors. The way we introduce colors is just by intuition. You're gonna feel what colors you want to use. You can use markers or pencils. We don't like to use pastels, crayons, because if you want to go back and draw some more lines with the black marker, it's not going to show. It's not going to work on crayons. And the rule about the color is that you want to color at least 2 segments with one color. You can blend, you may blend colors. If you blend them inside one area, needs to be gradual blending. You can shade them, but not very sharp. So if you see sharp blending, then it will be a second area. So for example, here I have a shading here. If I do it a lot more darker, I will need to separate those to be 2 separate areas. And I can still do that. I can still separate them. I can do more areas for each shade, or I can have shading in one area. So the colors I'm going to choose are, I think I want blue and some green for my travel.
Will you be covering the colors and their representation in the class?
In this one, no, it is not the part of this class. We will be covering the lines and roundings and basic steps, not the colors. The colors are part of instructor class.
Oh, okay.
There will be a, actually, we can do just a separate class about colors. It is a part of instructional class, but it can be taught separately as well. The theory of colors is very interesting, and there are many, many ways of looking at the colors. So like I said, you can mix the colors and blend them together. I'm going very fast, just marking the areas with the colors, but then I'm gonna come back later on and color them. You may wanna do colors by circle. You may wanna color first circle one color inside all of those, then the second circle different color, depends how you feel. I want to create a flow, a feeling of fluidity. So I'm coloring them on segments. What you don't want to do is color this little piece one color and then get another color and color this little piece another color. You don't want to create like mosaic like this. each little piece to be separate. You want to integrate. And I have a squeaky pencil here. Sorry about that. So how do you feel about your wishes now? Do you see them more closer? Do you see them more possible? Not yet. There are many examples how people reach their desires and fulfill their wishes by drawing Neurographica. A lot of ladies I know who wanted kids actually literally drew their kids in Neurographica and got pregnant and had babies. Lots of happy stories around there.
So how long have you been working with this already, Nat?
I'm working 7 months, and the moment I found this, it was love at first sight. I couldn't stop myself from drawing. I'm constantly drawing. In my home, I have tons of drawings already, and it takes a lot of stress, especially around these times that we are now in. It helps me stay calm, and I used to be very anxious. I used to be just jumping from everything, every little news on TV, everything would get me into a state of panic. And I'm so grateful I found this. I don't know how I would have survived the quarantine without this.
That's awesome.
Okay, I'm gonna turn the camera back on me. And I'm gonna finish the drawing later.
Mm-hmm.
And I advise you to do the same. At least do the roundings. So if you are done with the roundings, you can stop and come back at some later point when you have more time. But don't leave it without rounding everything. The reason is that your mind will feel some low grade of anxiety, and you will not know where it's coming from. And it's just because you will have something unfinished with the roundings. I would like to hear any feedback from you, any recommendations, anything you wish to do. We still have one more class. We're gonna do more free classes like this. We still have scheduled one more next Friday. Would you like to share how you feel right now and any recommendations for the next class? Sure. Yes, please.
I'm feeling a little anxious right now just because we had to move so fast. And also I am left-handed. So I changed my paper from last week. I was using the watercolor paper, which seemed to not smear. And I'm using some vellum paper right now. And when I'm drawing with my left hand, it smears. So I think I'm going to go back to the watercolor. I feel the same way that you do about the Neurographica drawings. When I drew the one last week, I added a lot more lines.
Yes.
Felt more energetic to me after I did that. So that felt good. And I did do some of the colors like you're saying not to do. Oh no, not in this one I didn't, where the circle had 4 and I did 2 different colors. So you're saying not to do that.
It's, if you're doing classical Neurographica, it's not recommended. But then there is Neurographica art, and I know you're an artist. So go with your feelings, and if you want to do it, just do it. I just want to emphasize that if you're working, if you have a goal, like you're working with some kind of a problem, maybe a physical problem or emotional problem, you will create a case of 10 or 5 or so many drawings on the same topic, right?
Okay.
And if you are working with Neurographica for particular reason, you would want to follow the steps by classical Neurographica.
Okay.
And then if you just want to draw on neuro art, there is no limit, of course.
No, I want to learn the classical.
Okay.
Neurographica. My other question is, you mentioned that a woman drew her kids in it. Is that classic? When you're drawing forms of things that are in the outer world, or is it just using circles and triangles and squares and things like that?
More like symbolic representation of her kids.
Yes, it's a different algorithm where you drew you drew shapes and then you so this one I have here, this is my body inside and my auras, different layers of my auras.
Okay.
So this type is, or this one, this is my brain, which is not my brain, but it's a printout of a brain. And I draw over it. So these are different algorithms also.
Okay, but if somebody like draws their kids, so that's a human body form, is that classic or is that art?
It's it is classical. It's an algorithm that you can draw, and the steps what are important with it, they're like proper roundings, proper using of colors, and fixation and energy lines. So there are steps that you will learn in the class, a basic level user class, how to do the classical way. If you skip any of those steps, it will be more neuro art, and it can still work for you. Because you will get into a state of creativity, and as long as you set your goal and you work on it, you focus on it, you reflect on your body, on your emotions, and do the work, process it, then you will have results, even if you don't complete the entire steps. But the steps in the classical one are just more refined and are good for beginning. So it's good for you to know what is the classical way, what is the base one, and then you can do your deviations as you wish.
I can see how it's in alignment with neurolinguistic programming.
Exactly.
I have a background in that, and this complements it. And I want to learn the classic because I do Zentangle for the art.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I love it very much. Great. Very good.
Thank you.
Okay, well, I recommend you to take time and round, and so you feel more calm after that. Calm yourself down, and after you introduce the color, you will you will feel a lot more grounded right now. After that. Any suggestions for our next class?
You said you were going to do something with the history of Neurographica and explain to us the differences between them. And we've gotten a little bit of that, but we did not get into the history of it or the real uses of it.
Okay, I can briefly mention about this, but in depth, we're going to learn it in the user level class.
Okay.
When will you decide what dates and times you are going to do it? How long are you going to do that survey that was on Facebook?
We pretty much decided it's going to be on Mondays from 4 to 6 Central Time, and it's going to go for 2 weeks, so beginning of June 1st.
Just 2 weeks?
4 weeks. Okay. 4 weeks. 2 hours each week, with recording available the next day. So whoever misses the class can watch it afterwards. Okay. Any other questions? You're welcome to email me or post your drawings on the Facebook page. And I would love to see them. I would love to see also your comments if you think of something. Tim, we have a Facebook. I don't know if you're on Facebook. We have a Facebook group where I post the classes and all the announcements that are there, and people share their drawings.
What is the name of the Facebook group?
It's Neurographic. I will text you the group.
Okay. All right.
I really enjoy your method of teaching.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you.
What do you enjoy about this?
I like the way you explain things. Okay. I'm really enjoying the processes. I got to think about it a little more, but I really, really appreciate these classes.
Thank you so much. Thank you. That's so good. I appreciate it, your sharing. Okay. Well, thank you for being in this class. I appreciate every one of you, and have a great week. And if you want to, during the week, take a piece of paper and draw circles and round whenever you feel like it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay.